Hello, friends, and welcome to Light Warrior Sessions, Episode 3, Sound Healing with Greg Prasker. Greg's personal healing journey began in 2012 after he hit rock bottom. His wake-up call led him to start working with healers from all over the world. Today, Greg lives in New York City, where he spends his time sharing sound healing, energy work, hypnosis, breath work, and CBD oil on a global level. In this episode, Greg educates us about sound healing and also shares a full sound bath experience with us. This Light Warrior session is brought to you by Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. ACSL is an empowered, uplifting, inclusive community whose mission is to teach spiritual transformation with grace and ease. Learn more at cslalaska.org. Now let's dive into today's episode. All right. I've got Greg Prasker here today to talk all things sound healing. Thank you so much for joining me. This is awesome.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, this is great. So we met, I think on Instagram. Jenny Sensauci was talking about you a lot in Super Bowls, and that's how I was first led to you. And I just think you're so amazing. I love all the different things you do. And lately, I've been catching a lot of your Facebook Lives doing sound baths and sound healing things. And I just think it's so cool. And every time I see it, I'm just like wishing I could be transported into your apartment, like just be in the midst of all the things. So at the end of this interview, you're going to demonstrate that for us for people that have never seen a sound bath. So thank you. But I would love to just hear more about like what led you to sound healing, what's it all about, all the things.
Yeah, so I spent much of my life pretty depressed and anxious on all kinds of medication, things like that. I actually tried to take my own life about 8 years ago. And I was on a lot of medication. And I was numb. I never knew who I was. I never really felt myself. So about 8 years ago, I tried to take my own life, and I turned to the more spiritual realm. Obviously, it didn't happen. So I turned to the more spiritual realm. I mean, it wasn't a choice. I was guided. And I turned to hypnosis. And hypnosis actually just changed my life. And I became a hypnotist. And I was helping people, but I felt like there was so much more out there, and I didn't know what that was. So I started sitting in different like plant medicine ceremonies and things like ayahuasca. And for those of you that aren't familiar, get into that another time. But, meeting with spirit and sitting in sound baths. And I loved being in them. But while others were playing music and playing, all kinds of sound healing, different singing bowls and tuning forks, I wanted to be doing that. Like I didn't want space being held for me. I wanted to hold space for others. So it was during a sound bath that I just got this download and heard this message that said, get a set of Solfeggio tuning forks. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. I've never heard that word before, but I went on Amazon, I ordered a set, and I just started watching these videos, learning how to clean people's energy fields, remove blockages. So like within the first 2 weeks, I set up a massage table at this event, and it was nonstop. And, people study this for years, and it was like just after a few videos, it's like I've been doing this for lifetimes. So I was just clearing people's fields out. I was coming in, I'm like, did something happen when you were between 6 and 10? They're like, oh my God, yeah, this, and the other. Wow. So it was just amazing. And I was also working with a non-Solfeggio frequency that 185 Hertz that helps like with pain relief. So it was just amazing to see that and to start learning about, what these different frequencies are. And Solfeggio frequencies aren't the only one. There's tons out there that are healing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's really beautiful. First, I love that you're like, I didn't choose this. I was led there. But I mean, I feel like we choose to follow the guidance, and so I think that's really incredible and I've had a lot of those hits, especially during COVID and the more quiet. I feel like we're more connected to everything right now. And those moments like automatic writing and things where it's like a word I've never heard of, a thing I've never heard of, and like, go look this up. And it's like, wow. So I love hearing that that happened for you, and with solfeggio frequency. So this is something I really want to learn more about. And I've had insomnia just recently. Kind of, I mean, that's not normal for me whatsoever. But there's been just a lot of weird things going into my brain the last few weeks that have kept me up at night. And so I started listening to, I can't even explain what it is, but on YouTube, there's all these pages that are like hours on end of music that's 432 Hertz or 528 Hertz. And I honestly don't know what that means, but it's been helping me fall asleep. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of, sound healing in general, we're all energy. This isn't all woo-woo that, spirituality, this is science. We're all energy. We've learned this in school, physics, and, we vibrate at a certain frequency. So that's, the behind the scenes of what sound healing is about. So when you take it to the solfeggio level, like 432 Hertz, for instance, 432 Hertz isn't a solfeggio frequency, but it is the frequency that all of our music was tuned to up until like the mid 20th century. And even before, I think they changed it. It's a healing frequency. So imagine if all the music we listen to was set to a healing frequency, the world would be a lot different. Unfortunately, there's some, higher up individuals and beings that know this, so they change the music to 440 Hertz. So that's why everything we listen to now is 440 Hertz. So when it comes to 432, that's just like a base note, a base frequency of just overall healing. And it's a beautiful thing. And when we jump in later, I have my singing bowl is at 432 Hertz. So in terms of the solfeggio frequency, there were originally 6 notes, and they were used in like Gregorian chants, and all together they balance our mind, body, soul, spirit, emotional, everything. So the first 2 notes are 174 and 285. 174 is for pain, 285 is for clearing the energetic field. And then when we move into the other 7, those align with the chakras as well. So you have 396 Hertz, which is for liberation of fear, guilt, things like that. It helps to achieve goals and, lower that resistance. And, we all have fears. Everybody does. I do. I've been working on myself for years. All of a sudden, I have this fear of suffocation as I'm doing breath work coming up lately, so we're human. Everything just starts coming up. So with 396 Hertz, it's related to our root chakra. And so, say you're going through it, say you feel fear or you feel guilt and you want help, you could just go on YouTube and type in 396 Hertz and you'll find a million different videos of it. And then you move into 417, which is the alchemical frequency to clear trauma and to make changes for alchemy. And, a lot, like you just said, what a lot of people are familiar with that aren't familiar with the whole set are 528 Hertz. And that's really what started me. I was getting some spiritual healing by somebody and they introduced me to 528 Hertz. And so I started listening to it, but that was before I got the set. 528 Hertz related to our solar plexus chakra, it actually changes your DNA. And there is scientific research on this. Like there was something in Japan in 2018. You even look at, many of us have seen over the years, Dr. Emoto with the molecular structure of water. So to take it even deeper, well, I'll go through the solfeggio and then, so then there's 639 Hertz, which resolves relationship and connection, and 741, which is your throat chakra. So it's to express, to communicate better. And then, the higher 2 chakras are more the deeper spiritual ones, the frequencies. 852 is for your third eye, to awaken, to see. And 963 is your crown chakra. So that's your connection to source. That just your recalibrates and reconnects all your vibrational energies all into one. Just oneness and wholeness.
Wow. Is there, I don't know, maybe you've created this. I just want like a cheat sheet, It's like of all the chakra levels and all of that. I mean, that seems like really important information. And yeah.
Yeah, and they're really related. Like you can go deep with astrology with it too, and related to different planets. I took this alchemy course years ago. You know, I'm only an expert in what I'm an expert in. I'm not like an expert in astrology. I leave that for my friend James Ray. Like I watch his stuff, you know, and but everything is connected. You know, and what's interesting is I started getting into what's called Rife frequencies, which is more like physical healing. And Royal Rife he's like a Nikola Tesla type guy, and he cured 16 people of cancer 84 years ago. He was a scientist, a biologist using frequency. So the best way to put it is, you know, everything, even pathogens, even cancer, everything, you know, vibrates at a certain frequency. Mold, candida, yeast, everything in our body. So when you have an opera singer, right, and she hits a certain pitch, and you have a glass that's vibrating at that same frequency, what happens to the glass? It explodes, yeah. So it's so that it's, you know, I started working with this and actually using this Rife machine on just a vibrational level to basically kill things in my body and help me heal more. But as far as the sound healing goes, it's for, you know, it can be used obviously to relax and things like that. There's just nice and relaxing meditation music we could listen to. And even, you know, when you're in a bad mood and all of a sudden that one song comes on the radio and you're just like, and you just get put in a good mood because it's high vibration. You know, if you're vibrating at a certain frequency and you're listening to music that's at a less frequency, it's going to bring you down. Like as much as I used to be into heavy metal and hip hop, those are lower vibrational music. You know, I am from Staten Island. I still listen to Wu-Tang somewhat, but it's generally that's more lower vibrational. Whereas like when you're looking at things like classical and things that just uplift you or relax you, you know, it helps you to heal more. So, you know, and then it's also used for, I mean, on the deeper level, the emotional level of clearing things like 396, clearing fear and clearing guilt and balancing our emotions and our moods and things like that. And then into the physical and just, you know, just actually healing our bones. You know, there's different frequencies for nerve damage, for bone, for muscular damage. And there's so many out there. It's amazing.
Wow. 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 Do you do private sessions? Like if I hit you up and I'm like, I have this issue in my left knee, this is a true story. Can I like, do you do sessions for people or
Yeah, sure.
Not the thing right now?
No, I do. I'm moving away from the individual sessions because I also do, you know, breath work and hypnosis and shamanic journeying. So I'm putting everything I do into one. Like I'm going to be doing a 5-day challenge. I don't like the 5-day challenge thing, so I'm calling it it's time to give a shift 5-day experience that's going to be coming up, and I'm putting together a whole program involving sound and frequency and, you know, mindset work. That's going to be a 3-month program to help people go deeper and stuff. But yeah, we could always, awesome. for you, of course.
Sweet. No, well, you're just getting me all excited. I mean, it's just, I think that so much of this type of energy work gets discredited and people don't understand that a lot of things in the woo-woo world are science-based, and it's like quantum physics, and it's what our body is made from, and such deep healing can happen. And so, and I think Joe Dispenza, I feel like, has helped kind of make people understand in a bigger way that you can change your DNA through all these other ways, not related to sound healing, but, you know, just getting more people open to understanding it's science.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
And you know, you look back at you look at the indigenous tribes, like they've been using sound healing. Like this is something that's been going on forever. And I was actually in Mexico, in Tulum, while I was in Coba, and I was on top of the Mayan ruins, and I started getting these downloads, which are, for those of you that don't know, messages. I am a channeler, and so I got these messages that were going through a medicinal renaissance. And these are the original medicines, you know, Reiki, energy. Well, you know, Reiki isn't the only energy work, but it seems to be the most prevalent one. Reiki or Diksha energy work, even herbalism. Like herbalism disappeared, you know, and now look, you have CBD oil. Like, you know, I have, like you said, that's how you found me, through CBD. It's CBD is an ancient medicine. It's been around forever, and now it's coming back. And now we're taking better care of ourselves. We're using sound healing, and you know, there are some newer modalities, like hypnosis isn't ancient, But yeah, it's amazing to see all these actual healing modalities come out, as opposed to the ones that just, you know, throw a band-aid on you and make you feel a little better, but it's not healing the root cause.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, you know, we can trace a lot of that to money, and not that to discredit all of that, but I mean, there's just so much out there that's the root level. That's the huge thing. Yeah, healing from within. And I have my like cute little baby sound bowl. I got this as a gift years ago, and I was like, what is this? And I just sat somewhere like collecting dust. And it's so fun when that happens. And then you have some sort of new information. You're like, wait, I can do that. I have that here, you know? So.
Yeah. And you know, it's not, there's also, we all have it in us to use this, you know. I'm just channeling when I'm playing, you know, on Facebook Live doing my sound beds. It's, you know, and they're all different. And, you know, when I do it, it's generally, I work from the darkness to the light, from the shadow to the light. So, you know, it'll start out a little more heavy to get you to break open, and then we'll move, you know, as we'll shed, and whatever I do it for. Like today, I'm doing one for, you know, and I do one every Sunday, so I'll be doing one for in preparation of the full moon tomorrow, the full moon in Aquarius. And then I do ones for like cutting cords, inner child work, for fear, for this and that. But it's amazing that, you know, in sound bets I've been the practitioner of, or I've sat in, you'll just see people get cracked open. You know, you'll see people laughing, or you'll see people start hysterical crying. And that this is a thing. It's very powerful, and it's beautiful to get to be able to do this. It's you know, I used to be a musician when I was in high school. I had long hair when I had hair back then. I dyed green. I was a rocker. I played Metallica, Nirvana, all of that. That's when I was in high school. You know, it's so. And then when I went to college, I gave up playing music, and I just stopped playing. So it was something that was missing from my life for forever. You know, I listened to music, but not like playing. So that's when it all came back together, when I was sitting in these ceremonies. I'm like, oh, so that's what I've been missing. And I still don't remember like music theory, which is something I'm going to learn again now that I'm creating electronic music. But, you know, yeah, it's very interesting how we end up where we end up. You know, 10 years ago, if you told me this is what I'll be, I used to want to be a stockbroker. You know what I mean? Like, I used to want to be all of that stuff, all the regular stuff. And
yeah,
I wouldn't change any of it.
Yeah, that's wild. Going back to one thing you were saying about, I think you said 440, because I've heard about this too, where the government at that time, or whoever, the royal rulers, I don't know the history behind it, but that they shifted music. And I don't know, the 440, there was something like to be able to control people more, or just a feeling of more discomfort. That may or may not be true. I don't know, but have you heard any of that?
It's all true. It's, you know, I mean, this isn't conspiracy anymore. We've seen more. We're not going to dive headfirst into that, but you know, music is a way to kind of control people. You know, there's a reason why half of us believe one thing, the other half believe another. You know, there's a reason why there's such a big divide, and why there's so much programming, you know, whether it be through the TV and through music and things like that. I definitely have my theories, but yeah, that's just it. I mean, the solfeggio frequencies all but disappeared back then, you know, and they were used in Gregorian chant, and of different, you know, each person or each group, say, singing at a different frequency and all coming together for that balance. All that disappeared. You know, I mean, luckily, as much as a lot of us hate social media and we look at the bad in it, I see the great. It's raised so much awareness. I mean, we would have never met if it wasn't for it. So yeah, 440, it was changed for that reason. Because if we were all truly healed and we've all gone through our stuff, and not that it ever ends, you know, it's a lifetime of inner work. But if we were all healing and focused on that and shedding, the world would be, like I said earlier, the world would be a much different place.
It really would. It really, really would. And I think we might be heading there now.
We are.
We are. So
The
that's
future is bright. I promise everybody that. I've seen visions. I know I've been downloading messages for years now about exactly what's happening now and things like that. So, and there is one other sound healing that I don't know if you're familiar with it, but binaural beats and isochronic tones. It's brainwave entrainment. So this is like what I sometimes, if I can't sleep, I'll put on an isochronic sleep tone, and it's not related to solfeggio, but with binaural beats, you have to wear headphones because it's basically two different frequencies, one in each ear, that are entraining your brain in the middle. And it's so powerful. Like for all of you listening, whatever you're going through, jump on YouTube and type in isochronic tones focus. And I play this when I'm going to sleep. So it's, it's going in my brain while I'm sleeping, and it's
wow.
amazing, all these things. And
Wow. Hold on, I'm taking notes over here. That's really cool. Yeah, and I've heard of binaural beats, and I've been a musician for a long time, and my music is shifting, and I'm kind of in this not limbo state, but in between state where I'm coming back to myself and going, what do I want to do next musically? And this keeps coming up. And so I don't know yet how to create music using these beats and using these frequencies, but that's my mission. The music side of my life, I'm really excited to dive into that. And since you said you're, heading that way, we'll probably need to chat, collaborate.
yeah,
And
it's interesting to see like where your shift happened, what your posts were a year ago. And for some reason, there was one post you did. I have a crazy memory when it comes to people posting stuff that sticks out. One post you did singing Seven Nation Army. That it's like I don't remember what it was, but it's like not every time, but sometimes when Seven Nation Army comes on, you pop into my mind, and I remember that post. But then to have seen your, what you're talking about now and what you're doing now from then, and it's like just this huge awakening. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been really cool. I'm really grateful. Yeah, so, okay. Well, I feel pretty complete on information, although I might hit you up for some links and things to give people that we can put in the notes. But I would love to dive into a sound bath if you're ready for that.
Absolutely. Just got to go set up and let's make it happen.
Okay, awesome. I'll pause this and we'll come back.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Don't waste any time. So just best bet, you could sit up, you could lay down, whatever you want. Just close your eyes and start taking some deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth is the best, the most detoxing way. And whatever happens, happens. Just let the sound take you away. We'll be playing a few different things I spoke to you about. And yeah. Take these last few minutes. Just visualize the future after now. What you want your life to look like. Just shedding all those fears and all that's holding you back. You can take some nice breath, letting go of anything holding you back, all that no longer serves you. Visualize this upcoming week, what you want it to look like. A situation in your life that you want a specific outcome to, something you've been struggling with, make sure it's going right. Or just picture yourself on the beach next to the ocean. Or picture the world in a good way, what you'd like to see the world look like. Sending love to the world, sending love to yourself. Sending love to your friends and family. Sending love to all those who are suffering. Opening up that heart. many people, heart maybe a little closed off at times. We've all been hurt. It's time to open up those hearts. Take this last minute. Picture one thing you're going to do differently this week. One act of self-care, something you've been putting off. Maybe it's exercise, maybe it's eating better. It doesn't have to be the biggest change, but one thing. Together, and we're going to hold it, and we're going to breathe it out and sigh it out, letting it all go. First breath, breathe in, hold it, let it pick up any remnants in your body that needs to be let go, and breathe it out. Next one, breathe in, hold it, and if you need to, stick your tongue out. Last one, breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. Start wiggling your fingers and toes, coming back into your body. Maybe shrugging your shoulders, stretching a little, and whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. Allowing life to just be blissful, because that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Oh, thank you. I mean, and that was a little shortened one, guys. I usually do it a lot longer, but I wanted to get everything in and as many instruments in as I can. And yeah, it's so interesting when I would sit in sound baths and I'd hear those like cosmic sounds, like the going around the gong with these friction mounts. And I'm like, what is that noise? So like a lot of times I'll be sitting in a sound bath, I won't even be able to keep my eyes closed. I'll just be sitting up watching. And
I know, I had to watch. It was so fun to see, especially as you're just pulling tricks out of your head. Can you show me or tell me about the triangle that you pulled out just real quick? Like that was really, really beautiful.
Yeah, that is a crystal singing pyramid.
Ooh.
Bowls are made of crystal. This is made of crystal. It's really cool. If you can't see it as much, but there's literally a laser light show when I pull it out of all the green that's coming out, like the stars, and it's just everywhere. So I don't know what note it is, but it's like what I imagine it is. It creates this like vortex around you of just like bliss, and there's all different sizes of this. This one's like a 12-inch one. There's a lot of there's crystal tuning forks too, and crystal harps that I want to get one of those, and yeah.
Whoa, that is so, so cool. I got to start my Christmas list. No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, like I have such a small space here, and when I move, I need a much bigger space for all this, and I can't even fit anything else. You know, like I got these chimes right here.
Oh.
Like I recently got those, but where those were was my like this little bongo drum thing. So now this is over here, so I have to like stretch everywhere.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I mean, and I only have 2 singing bowls. Like I want 30 singing bowls, you know. So one day I'll be doing this, and I'll be standing up, running around a room of like gongs and everything like that.
Yes, I can see it. Awesome. Well, thank you again for all the information and for the demonstration. I appreciate it so much, and I'll make sure that everybody knows where to come find you for more sound baths, and I'm really grateful. So thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
So.